In this video, I'm going to teach you how to activate your inner thigh muscles using a block and the outside of your glutes using a strap. So you'll need both or something similar for this next exercise. So we're going to do this laying down. And what we're going to do is go through the motions first of finding a neutral pelvis, a neutral spine. So going through the anterior and posterior pelvic tilts, making sure that you can land in the middle, stabilize with your core to keep your pubic bone right on top of your tailbone in that neutral position. And we're going to use our breath to activate these muscle groups. So what we're going to do is take a deep inhale and then a deep exhale, making sure that you can keep the core on as you're breathing. And after you've been able to do that, what we're going to do is inhale and then stretch it, push your legs out into the strap. So pulling the knees out into the strap, activating the outside of the hips. And then as you exhale, squeezing the block. Okay, and as you squeeze the block, those inner thighs turn on, and you can also think about pulling the pelvic floor up and in as you blow out your mouth. And then inhale, relax the pelvic floor, stretch the legs out into the strap. And then exhale, blow out the mouth, squeeze the block, pull the pelvic floor up and in. And inhale, relax the pelvic floor, stretch the legs out into the band. And repeat like that. Every inhale, you're going to think about that umbrella opening all the way around the ribs. As you pull the legs out and relax the pelvic floor, on every exhale, we're going to think about ribs coming back down and in. That umbrella closes. We're going to squeeze the block in between our thighs, and we're going to pull the pelvic floor up and in. And then you can do this, we're going to match that motion or that activation with each breath. So for every inhale, the length of the inhale is going to match how long you're going to be pulling the legs out. For every exhale, the length of the exhale is how long you're going to be squeezing the block, pulling the pelvic floor up and in. And your therapist will let you know how many reps to do. Now, if that is not a comfortable position for you, you can come into side lying, which is fine. So we're going to do the same thing where we're going to make sure that our pubic bone and our tailbone are on the same plane. When you're on your side, it's really easy to kind of sink your spine down into the table. So what you want to do is make sure that that core is on. So we're going to kind of activate that side so that it picks up off the table a little bit. And as you do that, you'll find that right now my left hip is up and my right hip is down as my side is slinked down. But as I activate that side, it pulls that left hip down that way. So now my left hip and my right hip are nice and even. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing in this position. So we're going to inhale, get that good umbrella effect. As I pull the band out with my left side, I'm pushing down into the table on my right. And then as I exhale, for the whole length of the exhale, I'm going to squeeze the block in between my thighs as I pull the pelvic floor up and in. So it's the same exact exercise as on our back. We're on our side with a little bit of thought to kind of keeping that pelvis level. Okay.